The blood moon prophecy is a series of apocalyptic beliefs promoted by Christian ministers John Hagee and Mark Biltz, which state that a tetrad which began with the April 2014 lunar eclipse is a sign of the end times as described in the Bible in Acts 2:20 and Revelation 6:12. The tetrad ended with a lunar eclipse on September 27, 2015. Overview: on April 15, 2014, there was a total lunar eclipse. It was the first of 4 consecutive total eclipses in a series, known as a tetrad. A second one took place on October 8, 2014, third one on April 4, 2015 and the remaining one took place on September 27, 2015. It is one of 8 tetrads during the 21st century AD. As with most lunar eclipses, the moon appeared red during the April 15 eclipse. The red color is caused by Rayleigh scattering of sunlight through the Earth's atmosphere, the same effect that causes sunsets to appear red. Hagee also connects the solar eclipse of March 20, 2015 in the middle of the sequence. The idea of a blood moon serving as an omen of the coming of the end times comes from the book of Joel, where it is written the sun will turn into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes. This phrase is again mentioned by St. Peter during Pentecost, as recorded in Acts, although Peter says that date, not some future date, was the fulfillment of Joel's prophecy. The blood moon also appears in the book of Revelation chapter 6 verses 11 to 13, where verse 12 says, "And I beheld when he had opened the 6th seal, and, lo, there was a great earthquake. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood." Around 2008, Biltz began predicting that the second coming of Jesus would occur in the fall of 2015 with the 7 years of the Great Tribulation beginning in the fall of 2008. He said he had discovered an astronomical pattern that predicted the next tetrad would coincide with the end times. When the prediction failed, he pulled the article from his website, but continued to teach on the significance of the tetrad. Hagee would later seize on Biltz's prediction to write 4 blood moons, which would become a bestseller, spending more than 150 days in Amazon.com's top 150 by April 2014. For the week ending March 30, 2014, it was the 9th best-selling paperback, according to Publishers Weekly. By mid-April, Hagee's book had hit number 4 on the New York Times bestseller list in the advice category. Hagee's book did not proclaim that any specific end times event would occur, but claimed that every prior tetrad of the last 500 years coincided with events in Jewish and Israeli history that were originally tragic, yet followed by triumph. Media attention and critics. Hagee and Biltz's speculations gain mainstream media attention in publications such as USA Today and The Washington Post. Earth and Sky reported receiving a number of inquiries about blood moon, prompting a response. According to Christian Today, only a small group of Christians saw the eclipse as significant. Writing for Earth and Sky, Bruce McClure and Deborah Bird point out that the referenced verse also says the sun will be turned into darkness, an apparent reference to a solar eclipse. They note that since the Jewish calendar is lunar, 1/6 of all eclipses will occur during Passover or Sukkot. Furthermore, there have been 62 tetrads since the 1st century AD, though only 8 of them have coincided with both feasts. Thus, the event is not as unusual as Hagee and Biltz imply. Additionally, 3 of the 4 eclipses in the tetrad were not even visible in the biblical homeland of Israel, casting further doubt on Hagee and Biltz's interpretation. Even then, only the very end of the last eclipse was visible in Israel. Writing for Space.com, Jeff Gaiety said he was saddened that prophets of doom view these life-enriching events as portents of disaster, and said the eclipse was hardly something to be concerned about. In January 2014, Mike Moore, the then General Secretary of Christian Witness to Israel, wrote a lengthy article dismissing the claims of Biltz and Hagee. Moore's view was that no significance can be drawn from the eclipses. References. Further reading, Biltz, Mark. Blood Moons, Decoding the Imminent Heavenly Signs. Washington, D.C., WND Books. ISBN 9781936484117. Hagee, John. Full Blood Moons, Something is About to Change. Brentwood, Tennessee, Worthy Publishing. ISBN 9781617952142. External links: Robbins, Stuart. Exposing Pseudo-Astronomy Ep 85, Blood Moons, Jewish Holidays, and the End of All Things. Exposing Pseudo-Astronomy Podcast.